Hello friends, my name is Vas Solo. I'm a recovered drug addict and alcoholic, a practicing yogi, and a certified meditation instructor. Today I say that I'm recovered, but what does that really mean? And how do I keep it that way? I'll talk about that and more in this video. But first I want to quickly remind you to please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. I make videos about addiction, recovery, and personal development, so if that's something you're into, make sure to subscribe. While I was working the steps, this is how I'd introduce myself at a meeting. Hi, my name is Vas, and I'm a drug addict and alcoholic. But after I finished working them, I started saying recovered drug addict and alcoholic. So what does that actually mean? Well, being recovered doesn't just mean being clean and sober. It's that, but more importantly, it means that my desire to drink and use drugs is gone, which means that I'm in a better place. For those of you who haven't seen my other videos, the drugs and alcohol are not your problem. They're a symptom of an imbalanced state. So recovered is a state of a healthier body, mind, and spirit, which I reached by working the steps. The steps helped me realize my predicament. I'm an addict. I don't drink and use like normal people. They also help me connect to something bigger than me that helps to restore my sanity. They took me through a process of honest self-analysis and a confession of my shortcomings that helped me clear away a lifetime of mental and emotional garbage. They helped me set right the wrongs that I committed in the past and heal broken relationships. And today they help me be of service to others by going to meetings, sharing my story, and working with other addicts. Going through this process resulted in a spiritual awakening, a powerful expansion of my consciousness, which gave me the clarity and strength to make the right choices in life. I became less driven by my impulses and dark desires, which lead me to create chaos, and I became driven by a new set of morals and principles, which help me create peace. It's like I've woken up from a nightmare, and now I'm relatively free. But this freedom and happiness is contingent on me following this new path. Now that I know how wonderful life can be and what true happiness feels like, I have to keep doing the things that brought me to the dance. That is how I stay recovered. Otherwise, I'll revert back to my old self, and then it's only a matter of time before I relapse. It's just like staying fit. I have to keep exercising and eating healthy to stay in shape. And to stay recovered, I have to do 3 basic things: trust God, clean house, and help others. This is the most important principle because it informs all of my other decisions. Once I've admitted that I'm an addict, which is why I'm sitting in a 12-step meeting on a Saturday night, it becomes clear to me that I'm wired different from other people. My mind has led me to act in a way that has ruined my life. So it's my biggest enemy, which means I have 2 choices. I can either be a slave to it and all of its destructive impulses, or I can make it a servant of the highest possible good. By doing the former, I self-destruct. By doing the latter, I consciously awaken to more happiness and freedom. See, all my suffering comes from behaving contrary to the universal principles of right living, which has created deeply ingrained patterns of wrong thinking and behavior in my brain. And at the start of my sobriety, they're still there, active and dominating my thinking, which makes it impossible for me to see my way out of a problem with the same mind that's creating it in the first place. When I'm in that state of disharmony and confusion, anger and frustration, sadness and self-pity, I cannot see a solution. All I see is the problem, and all I feel is pain. And in that state, it's only a matter of time before I call the dealer or get drunk. But when I surrender my thinking and my actions to my higher power, I get relief. It's as though through prayer, I'm tuning my mind's radio to another frequency, one that's broadcasting waves of truth and goodness. This elevates my thinking, opens up my perspective, my suffering quickly subsides, and the answers I'm looking for come to me. This is what happens when I trust infinite God rather than my finite self. So I put this into practice by starting the day with prayer. I consider the day ahead of me and ask to be guided by right and selfless motives. Once I'm aligned with the right intention, there's less of a chance that I'll do something foolish. If I encounter some difficulty, I pray and ask God for the inspiration to make the right decision, which helps me to do the right thing in those moments when my mind, because of its past conditioning and faulty wiring, is working against me. Each time I make the right decision, I'm establishing a new way of being, and eventually it becomes second nature to me. Step 4 and 5 helped me discover many of my character defects. Step 6 and 7 helped me to let them go. But does that make me a saint? No, far from it. What I have is a daily reprieve. My defects are like weeds in the garden of my mind. I've pulled out the ones I can see, but there's plenty more where that came from. They're just hidden deep in my subconscious mind. And if I don't tend the garden daily, they'll spring up again. But now that I know what they look like, as soon as I spot them, I get rid of them, while also planting in the soil of my mind seeds of right living. The weeds are my defects, the new seeds I'm planting are my virtues. Once my garden is free of weeds and full of beautiful flowers, my life becomes a joy. It's simple, but it's work. Every night before I go to bed, I have to do an inventory of my day to find out all the ways that I've acted against my new principles. Did I let my fear get the best of me? Was I selfish at any point? Did I get angry or upset? If I hurt or harmed someone with something I said or did, tomorrow I make the amend. This is how I have to live my life if I want to be free. I have to commit myself fully to this new path, trusting that the seeds I'm planting today will someday grow into the beautiful flowers of recovery. For most addicts, including myself, our biggest flaw is our selfishness. We become hypnotized by our fear and misery, which paints our world in the colors of despair. Years of suffering has opened up a black hole where our heart is, which prevents the light of goodness from escaping. This keeps us sick, and the only way to change that is to do the opposite of what we've been doing. We have to think less about ourselves and more about the needs of others. We have to start giving more than we take. We have to look for opportunities to be of service where and when we can to close that black hole. Only then can we start to heal.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
We can start by helping our friends and our family, looking for any opportunity we can to be helpful to them. We go to meetings and work with recovering addicts, giving back to the program and the people who saved our life. If we have the time, we can volunteer in our community. We do anything that we can that gets us out of our own head and helping others. And the more we give, the more we find ourselves connecting to life. The world which we saw as dark and unfriendly becomes bright and welcoming. We lose that feeling of unworthiness and gain a feeling of usefulness and self-respect. And that black hole of selfishness starts to close. For those of you watching this who haven't worked the steps, living this way might seem like a drastic proposal. But is it? Don't you want to wake up one day and be glad to be alive? To not be hungover and full of fear and misery? To have money in your bank account and be on good terms with your loved ones? To not have the desire to drink and use drugs anymore? To be happy, joyous, and free? If that's what you want, then why not go to a meeting, get a sponsor, and work the steps? I promise it will change your life. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Please support the channel by sharing, liking, subscribing, and make sure to hit the bell. I'll be making many more videos about recovery, so make sure to subscribe. And thank you for letting me share this message with you. If you have something that you want to share, please post it in the comments. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.